Small signals and hidden gestures that clearly say, I care about you more than you think. And today, I am going to explain exactly what those signs are. First, notice how long she holds you. A quick hug that ends fast is usually just polite. But if she stays longer, if she leans in fully, wraps her arms around you tightly, or rests her head on you, that shows emotional attachment. Look at her hands too. Are they barely touching your shoulders or are they moving across your back? The more personal the placement, the deeper the connection. And here is something important. If she hugs you when she is emotional, stressed, or feeling vulnerable, it is not casual. It is her heart opening to you. She is silently saying, "You matter to me." When you try to understand emotional attachment through a hug, the very first thing you often notice, even before any words are spoken, is how long she holds on. A short hug that barely brushes your shoulders or lasts just a second is usually polite, casual, and surface level. It follows social rules and shows basic respect, but it does not reveal deep feelings. But when a hug lasts longer, even just a few extra seconds beyond what feels normal, that is where things change. There is an invisible line between a friendly hug and one that communicates something more meaningful. That tiny pause, the moment where she does not pull away right away, is her subconscious telling you she feels safe, comfortable, and connected to you. The longer she stays in your arms, the more it shows her desire to stay close, to feel your warmth, and to emotionally connect. You may notice her leaning in a little more, pressing closer, or even shifting her body to find a more comfortable position in your arms. These movements are not accidents. They are natural ways the body shows attachment when the mind is unsure how to express it. Context also matters a lot. If the hug happens during a vulnerable moment or after a deep conversation, the length of the hug becomes even more meaningful. It is her way of saying, without words, that she trusts you and feels safe, lowering her guard. In that moment, it can feel like time slows down, like the hug turns into a quiet conversation where emotions are exchanged without sound. Many people ignore this because they look for obvious signs like messages, confessions, or big romantic gestures. But the truth is, time itself inside a hug carries meaning. A lingering hug is one of the most natural ways humans show emotional attachment. Learning to read this can change how you understand her feelings completely. Another important sign is how her body lines up with yours during the hug. A casual hug usually has a slight, polite lean. Her body stays upright and there is very little effort to match your movement. It feels safe and respectful, but it does not go deeper. But when a hug becomes more meaningful, her body fully aligns with yours. This shows something powerful. She is choosing closeness. You might feel her chest lightly press against yours, her shoulders curve to match yours, or her whole posture lean into the hug. It can feel like your bodies naturally fit together. This is not something she plans. Our bodies move closer to people we feel emotionally connected to. It is a natural response. This alignment also shows trust. She is not rushing away or keeping distance. She is opening herself emotionally and physically. Sometimes even her feet or the way she turns her body can show she wants to stay close. These small movements happen without thinking. They show that she values the connection. When this happens during a quiet moment or after sharing something personal, it becomes even more meaningful. It is almost like her body is saying, "I want to be here with you." The more her body matches yours, the stronger the emotional connection. When her torso, shoulders, and posture fully engage, it shows real emotional closeness. Learning to notice these tiny movements can tell you more than words ever will, because the body is honest about feelings. Another clear sign is where she places her arms. Not all hugs are the same. Arm placement is one of the most honest ways she shows how she feels. A friendly hug usually has arms placed lightly on your shoulders or loosely around you. It keeps some distance and shows politeness. But when she is emotionally attached, her arms tell a different story. If she wraps them fully around your back and pulls you closer, it shows she wants intimacy and connection. The hug becomes more than just a greeting. It becomes an emotional moment. Sometimes her hands may move slightly, making small motions on your back. These movements are not random. They are signs of comfort and attachment. A loose hug shows friendliness, but a tighter hug with gentle pressure shows she wants to feel close to you. It is her way of grounding herself emotionally. Timing also matters. If she hugs you tightly after sharing something personal or during a vulnerable moment, it shows genuine attachment. Notice how she lets go too. If she pulls away slowly or hesitates, it means she is enjoying the connection and does not want it to end. These small signals create a silent language of closeness. Paying attention to her arms, their pressure, and movement can help you understand her emotions clearly. One of the quietest but strongest signs of emotional attachment is where she places her head. Many people miss this because it is subtle. In a friendly hug, her head might stay upright or lightly touch your shoulder. It is respectful and keeps emotional distance. But when she is attached, her head position changes. She may rest it on your chest, your shoulder, or even in the space between your neck and shoulder. This shows trust. By placing her head there, she is allowing herself to feel safe with you. It is not just about comfort, it is emotional vulnerability. Sometimes you may notice her closing her eyes for a moment or gently adjusting her head to find a more comfortable spot. These tiny movements are guided by emotion, not thought. How firmly she rests her head can also show how deep her feelings are. A stronger rest shows she wants to stay longer, while a lighter rest can show growing feelings. Context, again, matters. If she rests her head on you during an emotional moment, after laughter, or during sadness, it is even more meaningful. It shows she is seeking comfort and reassurance from you. Her head placement is a physical expression of her emotions, quietly saying she trusts you and cares. Another sign is how her breathing changes during the hug. If she starts breathing slower and deeper, it shows she feels relaxed with you. Her body is calming down. This means she feels safe. If she sighs softly while hugging you, it often means she feels relief and comfort. It is like she is letting go of stress in your arms. This is a strong sign of emotional connection. Also, pay attention to how often she initiates hugs. If she looks for reasons to hug you, even in small moments, it shows she enjoys that closeness. If she is the one who opens her arms first, it means she feels drawn to you emotionally. Frequency matters. One hug might mean nothing, but repeated hugs show growing attachment. Notice her facial expression after the hug too. Does she smile softly? Does she look at you differently? Sometimes her eyes will hold your gaze a second longer. These are small but meaningful signs. They show she is emotionally present with you. Another subtle sign is if she hugs you from different angles. If she comes in from the side, behind, or pulls you in suddenly, it shows comfort and familiarity. These hugs feel more natural and personal. They are not planned. They happen in the moment. This shows emotional closeness. Pay attention to how her body reacts when the hug ends. Does she step away quickly or stay close? If she stays nearby or touches your arm after, it means she wants to keep the connection going. Sometimes she might adjust your shirt, fix your collar, or lightly touch your shoulder. These small actions show care. Hugs are powerful. They communicate what words cannot. A woman may not say how she feels, but her body will show it. The way she hugs, holds, leans, and rests on you all tell a story. Learning to read these signs helps you understand her emotions better. If you ever feel a hug that lingers, that feels warmer, deeper, and more meaningful, trust it. It is not just physical, it is emotional. It is her way of saying she feels safe, connected, and comfortable with you. These hugs carry messages of trust, care, and affection. So next time you hug her, pay attention. Notice the length, the pressure, her head, her arms, her breathing, and how she lets go. All these details matter. They create a silent language that speaks louder than words. Understanding this can help you see her feelings more clearly and build a stronger emotional connection with her. If you're starting to notice these signals, take a moment to pause and really observe the small signs that confirm what you're feeling. The difference between a friendly hug and an emotionally connected hug is found in the details. Once you learn to recognize them, confusion will no longer exist. One of the clearest signs that a woman feels emotionally attached to you does not come from the hug itself, but from what happens right after the first embrace. This is what we call her lingering presence. It is the way she stays close even when the hug could naturally end. In polite or casual situations, hugs are usually brief. She steps forward, wraps her arms around you quickly, and then pulls away almost right away, showing that the gesture was social rather than emotional. But when a woman lingers, when she does not immediately let go, it strongly suggests attachment. This lingering is not only about comfort, it is her body telling you she wants to remain connected, even if just for a few more seconds. You may notice subtle movements that make this obvious. Her arms may stay loosely around your back, her body may lean slightly into yours, or her head may stay close instead of lifting right away. These small actions are instinctive ways she extends the intimacy of the moment. Emotional attachment shows up through these tiny choices because her subconscious mind is guiding her to stay near you. You may also notice she appears calm and content while lingering. There is a quiet satisfaction in staying physically close to someone she cares about. Timing also matters. If this lingering happens after a meaningful talk, an emotional confession, or a shared laugh, it strengthens the message. She is not just enjoying the physical closeness. She is signaling that your presence matters to her and that she values these shared moments. Lingering presence can also reflect an unspoken need for reassurance, as if the hug feels like a safe place where she can connect with her emotions and feel secure. It is subtle, often unconscious, but very clear once you start paying attention. Unlike obvious words or gestures, lingering presence communicates emotional attachment in its purest and most natural form, allowing you to understand her feelings without a single word being spoken. When it comes to recognizing emotional attachment, small touches during a hug often speak louder than the hug itself. These are the tiny, almost automatic gestures that show a deeper bond. The little movements your mind might ignore at first, but that carry real emotional meaning. In friendly or casual hugs, contact is usually limited. Hands rest lightly on shoulders or upper back, and there is little movement beyond the basic embrace. But when a woman feels emotionally attached, her body communicates in instinctive ways rather than planned actions. You might notice her fingers lingering on your arm, hand, or back, tracing small patterns as if she is seeking comfort or reassurance. These touches are not random. They are quiet signals of attachment, a physical expression of care and emotional connection. She may gently squeeze, slowly slide her hand along your back, or brush against you again in a way that feels natural but meaningful. Sometimes these touches come with other signs like leaning into you or adjusting her position to keep contact, showing her desire to stay close. Context makes these touches even more important. Subtle contact during emotional moments such as laughing together, sharing something personal, or comforting each other carries far more meaning than casual touches. These gestures are her body speaking what her words may not yet express. It is a silent language of attachment. Most importantly, they show she is not just comfortable being near you, but actively seeking closeness, even in small ways. Unlike obvious signals that can be forced, subtle touches are hard to fake because they come from genuine emotion. The consistency and intention behind these movements help you tell the difference between simple friendliness and true emotional attachment. Paying attention to these small interactions gives you a window into her feelings, revealing a level of closeness that many people overlook. One of the strongest ways to recognize emotional attachment in a hug is to notice its timing, especially during emotionally intense moments. While the length, body position, and gentle touches tell part of the story, the situation surrounding the hug often reveals even more. A hug given during a casual greeting or goodbye may simply be polite, but a hug offered during a vulnerable or emotional moment carries a completely different meaning. When a woman hugs you after sharing something personal, during stress, or when she feels happy, sad, or anxious, it shows she trusts you with her emotions. She is opening up and creating a connection that goes beyond surface-level interaction. Emotional timing turns a simple hug into a message of care, closeness, and attachment. The hug becomes more than a gesture. It becomes a response to feelings, a bridge between two hearts. You might notice her hug feels longer, tighter, or more secure during these moments, as if her body is unconsciously expressing the emotions she feels inside. It is not just about holding on physically. It is about the message she shares without words. A hug during laughter may feel playful and affectionate, while one during vulnerability communicates comfort, trust, and a desire to be close. The timing tells you this is not casual. It is meaningful, even if she is not aware of it. When a woman repeatedly hugs you during emotional moments, it shows she sees you as a safe space, someone she can lean on both physically and emotionally. It is a sign she values you not just as a friend, but as someone who provides comfort and understanding. By noticing when she chooses to hug you, you gain deeper insight into her emotional attachment and the level of trust she places in your connection. Timing becomes a silent but powerful signal of how much she truly cares. One of the most revealing signs of emotional attachment is not the hug itself, but what happens right after, especially the way she looks at you. Eye contact is a powerful form of communication. In the context of a hug, it can say everything. In casual situations, a hug may be followed by a quick glance or even looking away, showing the moment was social. But when she holds eye contact, even briefly, it suggests a deeper emotional connection. This lingering look is rarely accidental. It is an instinctive expression of attachment and interest. After a hug, meeting your eyes communicates appreciation and an unspoken bond. It is as if she is silently saying, "I value this moment, and I value you." Sometimes her gaze is soft and warm, filled with trust and openness, showing she feels safe sharing her emotions. Other times it may carry a quiet intensity, hinting at affection she has not yet spoken. The length and context of this look matter. A quick glance may show comfort, while a longer gaze often reflects deeper feelings. Eye contact after a hug connects physical closeness with emotional intimacy, while the hug brings bodies together.